specialized in 360 video. Uli is Chief Operation Officer, handling basically all the stuff with production of our gear. And I'm the guy who has to stand on stage mostly. So this is our divisional role. You saw already our table outside a little bit. We have a whole bunch of new products that came out since the last trade show. This is our broadcaster model, which is a homage on the old ladybug geometry where we have 5 cameras around, one going upwards. It's a little bit of a break from our usual products because it has a blind spot, and usually we would say it's not 360, 180, then 360. But for live broadcasting and live stitching, we make a compromise because we usually just have a stitching box sitting underneath that handles the live stitching. So we said, okay, we would deal with it. Because if we stitch with GoPros, we have so many cables to handle, and we actually see it here, and we're going to record this actually. Where we have these 6 HDMI signals coming out of the cameras, as well as with this cam model, we have battery eliminators in the back of the 3+ cameras, supplying the power to the cameras. You can use also the Hero 4s for this same model, but we actually have to deal with 12 cables all sticking on the top of the cameras, which makes it a little bit bulky, but it still works. The idea is you insert your cameras and your cables once and then you leave it there, because GoPros react a little bit allergic to having the little plugs kind of going in and out all the time, and over time they will wear out and break. So it's basically set once, and then all you need to do is put it on the pole and record. The little brother for this system is the Elmo 360. It was a sports camera that came out of Japan the other day, or last year. It's also useful for live broadcasting, but also for live recording. This is full 360 by 180, doesn't have a blind spot. Has a little bit lower overall bit rate, but it's a fantastic entry model because it's only 4 cameras to stitch, and you have a wider field of view with it, and it behaves a little different. Ayrton, for example, is a huge fan of this rig because you can actually take it to the beach, because the cameras are in itself, when you buy them, actually splash-proof, so you don't need to worry so much about it. Live broadcasting, of course, then the port covers come off and then the splash-proofness is gone, but it still works. Both systems are, at the moment, ready to go for live stitching systems. Immersive Media has demoed both the GoPro system on the last shows. Color has shown them, of course, and we see it also out here with the Video Stitch for HANA system. Both systems give you about 4K live stitching capabilities, so it is currently the state of the art because we cannot push more pixels out at the moment for live stitching. In theory, when we get better signals out of the HDMIs, we may be able to get higher resolution out for stitching purposes. But right now, both are very, very highly efficient systems in this context. We also started to add more accessories and gears to our shop. We have a whole wide range of carbon fiber poles because we discovered that one pole does not fit everything. So we have everything from very short ones, basically just short standoffs, to a short carbon fiber pole that is about 30 to 80 centimeters long, to a normal carbon fiber pole that's about 1.80 meters, to the beautiful Nodal Ninja travel pole that we sell a lot, and to the very almost massive Series 2 pole from Nodal Ninja that goes up to 6 meters. And each one of them has their purpose, and that's why we all have them in the store, because every photographer, every videographer for 360 has a different need, and we like to cover this. The short carbon fiber pole is sort of a development that we did in-house together with Faisal, because there is nothing on the market like this that is a short, very sturdy carbon fiber pole, and we use it mostly for very rigid solutions like in this one, where we actually have to mount it on a car, and we want to have very little movement of the rig itself when the vehicle is actually moving, so we want to be in sync with the vehicle most of the time. We also started working with Canyon Labs. Canyon Labs produces very almost ancient machines, gyroscopes. They have spinning discs inside and do nothing else but just spin. And They were used for aerial photography, mostly to keep the cameras when you're in a helicopter shooting outwards stable. We kind of started using them in different ways by putting them at the end of our travel poles, for example, and stabilizing, therefore, our camera movement when the camera and the camera operators are moving along. Another development that we did with Novoflex in Germany was developing this basic ball tripod head because we all need like little feet on our monopods, and I personally like running around with small feet on it because I want to keep the footprint as small as possible. The original Novoflex was very interesting, but did not really fulfill my needs for stability. So basically, we talked with them. They made this very special custom version for us that we sell, and then we added the very massive hex legs to it. And it's totally versatile. Many of you have played around with it, and you can assemble it in any way you want. It's sort of a relative to the Manfrotto Dado system in a way, but I think it's a little more useful in this context. Worldwide sales have actually really gone very well. Many people more interested, and we have now many more partners that are actually interested in selling our gear. Ava Entertainment in Korea, for example, starts doing selling our gear and also going into production and content creation. Joer in Japan has joined reselling this. Finve and Juha Kela will join us very shortly, selling our gear in Finland, and we're very happy about it because he does not only do great applications, but he also has a great sense of business up there. Pixel Case, JB Goldbrook in Australia, is going to take care of some of the sales down under. And Richard Bruin, also another great app developer, also decided to basically start reselling our gear. The big news that we got last week is that Bill Bailey from Northern Ninja wants also to join the club, or we are joining his club. We were already reseller for him, but we were totally excited to actually have him on board selling our gear because it fits very nicely in the panoramic gear he's already selling. He has a fantastic market base already, and we are very happy that he decided to actually sell our gear as well. Another big reseller is also Abelcine now. Abelcine is a camera rental house in New York, LA, and Chicago, specializing specifically to Hollywood-style production rentals. And they are also seeing the big VR wave now coming to Hollywood. And they said, yes, we want to be on board. We want to rent you gear. We want to sell you gear. But we also want to make tutorials and classes and workshops for all the filmmakers on both sides of the US continent. So we're very excited about this. Their commitment to training is unparalleled, and we're very excited to have them actually also on board. All this great gear that we have wouldn't be anything about all our users that are using this. And foremost, I think I have to give a very big special thank you to Ignacio. He's using our gear to the fullest extent. He comes up with the craziest ideas. He puts it in place and creates amazing content. So thank you, Ignacio, for doing all the great content. And you will see more tomorrow about in his presentation, like what the crazy things he comes up with, like stuff I haven't even thought about, what you can do with it. But Ignacio is not alone. We just saw with Matthias Taugwalder, once you give a creative person a tool, they come out and really create awesome projects. I mean, the Mammut project, when I heard about it last year, I was just totally stunned and blown away. And when we saw it and started also demoing on the last show, because he was so kind to give us some video files, people are blown away with VR, but just seeing it. Even people who are afraid of heights, they really see this is awesome. It's like almost climbing there. So it's the epiphany of virtual reality. So be there. Gerald Donovan from Dubai 360. They did massive work and fantastic work in Dubai with 360 video, and it's a massive team effort what he did. Dominik Baumann with his flight experiences. Great experience, you be there, you feel like, yes, I'm sitting in a cockpit I'm really there. Ryan Whitehead, for years, has been now putting out great content. Henry Stewart, specializing in everything that's car-related, with the BBC and Top Gear and all this stuff. Sergey, don't say much, he does the most beautiful aerial stuff we can see, and we've been very happy to supply him with gear from the very beginning. Jamie Colebrook, who's now a reseller, also does fantastic work down under. Martin Edstrom, we saw yesterday with his programs. Hopefully we're going to see more of him. Richard Brew is now making his way into filmmaking, also with collaboration with others. And we saw the very first horror movie last year, 1157. And that one also got converted actually for the full dome community. So we saw even a relatively low resolution at the Immersive Festival earlier this year. And people loved it. To see the conversion from the original headset version into the full dome version, they loved it. Rodrigo does great stuff. Carlos de Cabea does stuff, great stuff. Thomas Hayden with the Grand Canyon project. It's a great cause because nobody really wanted to see the Grand Canyon destroyed as it was planned. And I do believe that his 360 rafting videos contributed a little bit to actually preventing some of the planned damage, and I hope he will continue working on that. And there are many more out there. So I want to thank all of you. You guys do great content, and we love you. Thank you. We also do occasionally some productions on our own. We did a production for an Australian hip-hop artist called Illy, and we got contacted to film and produce actually something in New York City. And this is a little behind-the-scene take where he sings on the roof, and that got converted actually not into a VR experience, but it was a flat music video that used a lot of the Little Planet effect and got nominated for Best Australian Music Video also. We produced a piece for Jon Bon Jovi on stage, which was interesting. It was a little bit a short ad hoc project, but we managed to have at least 2 fixed positions on stage, and we produced a little piece we have outside on the headsets, where we can actually edit between the 2 different positions on stage. It's pretty interesting to see him actually really up close, but also see the experience of like what he sees when he sees his audience dancing in front of him. And on lots of the demos that we did on last shows, many people actually watch more the audience than they do the artist, because they really want to be in the shoes of the artist and just be famous for 3 minutes. We did a large section with Obo Interactive and Juan Santillan for a company called Dream Trips. And this way we went more into a travel style content creation. We went to Dubai, for example, and shot about 3 final pieces with about 3 minutes each, covering different locations that the travel group will actually visit. And the idea was then to give them cardboards and the applications with it, so potential new customers can go in and experience it already ahead of time a little bit and say, yes, we want to go. And this had also really pretty great impact on their business model, so they're seeing a good uptick. We went to China. We walked up the Chinese Great Wall, which was great fun, and I have more respect for athletes if they have to do hard work and hard labor, and even the runners that go up the stairs, because this little segment, I totally lost my breath on it. I was obviously carrying the setup up the Great Wall, and which is also a little bit heavy, which greatly contributed to me being totally out of breath. Same idea of having a stabilized motion in a 360 experience that doesn't make you sick, but really feels you to be there. We took this also to New Mexico and actually went skiing for the same company, saying, yeah, this is how it is when you go downhill. And in 2012, the very first ski video was actually Ignacio and his friend taking down the very first prototype down the slopes in Spain. But this back then it was more free skiing and not focusing so much on the environment, but more on the event of skiing. Well, on those takes, we actually took the liberty of me just being a camera platform that slides down the mountain, and then having the guests of the dream trips actually coming around us. So we staged some camera movement and some participant movement to say, okay, you come past me, you slide under the camera to make it more interesting. So we made the camera movement basically as neutral as possible and let the surrounding parts speak more for itself. And we distinctively took parts in the video clip where we have lots of trees around it. So we were not going a big mountain downhill, it was more the small sideways or the escape ways to go home. The big news, of course, having so many productions done and having so many products to ship out to our customers is that we're actually now moving into the office. We are located now in the heart of Long Island City, right next to the famous Silver Cup studios. If you have been in New York and have watched over the river, then you see their sign right next to the bridge. It's convenient located, it's a couple minutes from Midtown, so it's very easy to reach, and we have now plenty of space to actually do more hardware production, do more manufacturing, but also do more video production. And speaking of video production, this is Alex and Max.
Sad and happy day for us. Sad because we couldn't join you at this year's IVRPA in Prague, but happy because we are joining the Freedom360 family as a VR production agency.
We hope to collaborate with many of you in the near future on lots of exciting VR projects.
So enjoy your stay at Prague and drink lots of beer. Cheers.
So we decided to basically need to grow. We have so many demand for productions, and so we acquired Concept VR. We're going to join forces, and we're going to also have more people in that field because we feel like we have some experience over the last 3 years of doing hardware, doing productions, and bringing the word out to more filmmakers, to more customers that want to create content is one of the ways to go. Another news that you saw already a little bit outside is a vector mount, and this is the very only non-360 related product that we have. We joined with vector mount, and this is the only dynamic camera mount worldwide on the market. Steve, the original designer and inventor of the system, was looking for a partner to manufacture and promote and manufacture this. And it is already deeply used in Formula Drift, for example. And you saw already some drifting videos in here. The camera mount allows you to basically use centrifugal forces to steer the camera as well as the wind. So you don't end up with more static shots of the just pointing in one direction. And this gives the many filmmakers and also many TV stations that have to cover motorsports event new elements of footage that looks a little more interesting just than static cameras or the off-track cameras that have to follow around. It also comes with a whole bunch of additional static mounts that you saw outside already, and we're probably going to merge this a little bit with the F360 products and give even more options for 360 filmmakers to mount the gear into different places that were formerly a little bit more difficult. So in short, Freedom360 is Concept VR, is vector mount now, and because because of our new offices, we are also hiring now. So if you're looking for a job and are located in the New York City area or want to move there, you're more than welcome. We're looking for 360 video people. We're looking for really talented stitchers, but we're also looking for hardware manufacturing people and assembly and such things, and also sales people that are interested in motorsports as well as in 360 video. Thank you.
Thank you, Jürgen. Any question? That was pretty clear, huh? As usual.
What is the salary?
Sorry, what?
What's the salary actually? He asked.
What's the salary?
That depends on the job.
I didn't ask that.
And your performance, by the way.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Jürgen. So again, we're going to have a very short break, so be sure that you go do your last moment shopping, and we'll be back around 4 o'clock for an amazing talk about live heat.